tragic accident. Like tragic accidents just happen all the time in Carroll County. I'm just saying. It's a very, very unlucky place to live. They dropped the charges because it was accidental. You don't accidentally run over somebody and back up and try to do it again. Let's start from the beginning as investigative reporters, right? So you would ask the questions who, what, where, when, and why. Should be easy, right? Of course it is. Yes, I know, you're innocent until proven guilty, but what good does that do you if you are not alive? Well, hello, my silky friends. Yeah, it's morning, and it is what it is. Well, it's not really morning. It's 12 o'clock now. How you doing today? I know. It's the middle of the day. I am so glad for all y'all who are here. And I don't have a lot of time. So this is going to be a quick update, as quick as I can do it. Because tonight, I'm trying to get Evil CJ on this show with me, and we're gonna do, and he's got like a lot of things he's doing, so, fingers crossed. But if not, I will be here no later than 6. It's gonna be between 5 and 6, I don't know, depending. But tonight's video is gonna be hot, spicy tea. And this all comes from you. Doesn't come from me. Yeah, I have. If you've watched my videos for a while, I have dropped some of my own theories. You probably didn't catch them. I may mention that later. Anyway, I'm going to try to get through this. These are some of the documents. All the big hullabaloo has been about the memorandum and the response. So here are a few things that I wanted to take a look at that we maybe haven't seen or talked about as much, because even though they're not earth-shattering, there are some very good points in here, and it also gives me a time to respond. Now, my spicy tea for tonight is like, I don't know how fast we can go through that. We might get all through it tonight, and I might have to do a part 2. But also for my members, I'm gonna be doing a members only. I know, y'all. I said I was gonna do it like weeks ago, and I'll tell you something. This case has really it's really thrown me for a loop. For reasons I've explained before. It's harder. It takes a bigger toll on me. So we're over the worst of it, and I think we can get back to doing whatever. So I will make a members only post and see what y'all want to talk about. Let me say good morning. First of all, let me say good morning to Linda K. How are you? Margaret, how are you doing? Laura Thompson. And for y'all that are at work, that's fine. Just catch it on the replay if this is something you want to hear about. I'm gonna have to put my glasses on because I can't see anything. Y'all know that. Fragaria. Oh wait, Mother of Dragons. Hey. Fragaria Vesca. Did I say that right? Yes, this case is absolute bonkers. Megan Z. Good to see y'all. Alright. We've got some, and then we've got some. Oh, wait. There's some more. Janie Lane. All right. I am going to get to this right off the bat because I only have about an hour. I've got some stuff I've got to do, and then it's not fun. It's just meh, meh. I got to do the dishes. Got to do some laundry. Got to run my daughter around. Y'all know. So when I do spicy tea tonight or hot tea tonight, you may see a big old pile of laundry on my bed. I'm just saying. All right. Let's go. Thank you all so much for being here. Let me go ahead and change this up to, let me see. Let me do this one. We're going to look at some of the files, like I said. All right. This one is the motion for discovery. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. This is not, you know what? No matter what I do. This is very interesting, though. It doesn't sound interesting, but it really is. Let me go back to... I just tried this before. Let's see if this is it. Nope. That's a very interesting... We'll get there. I tried this out before I even did this to know, because I've got 3 or 4 tabs open, and I wanted to make sure I knew exactly which one was where, and now they're all... What? Come on now. Oh, I hate it when this happens. Welcome, Megan Z. Welcome to the crazy members. Hello, Kip Kitty. How are you? Grizmatically clever. Good to see you, Grizz. I want to do another show with you and CJ. It was really good. By the way, Grizz has a show. He has a YouTube channel. Go check his channel out. I am about ready to screen. Okay. There we go. Finally. I just hit that while ago. You stupid piece of crap. Sorry. Yeah. I ain't holding nothing back. Alright. So we had the Franks motion. This is very interesting because, everybody was talking about the memorandum. That was, what they called the Franks. And they did say that in that 136-page document that we've all been poring over this past, couple of weeks. But this is actually, I like the way it's worded. It's kind of funny. And I'm not going to read all of it. I'm just going to kind of explain it because, like I said, we got a lot of documents to get through. Basically, when you take a look at this, this is the actual, okay? This is the actual, what they probably should have written instead of that 136 pages, because this is just the cut and dried facts, okay? Not the fanciful, and I don't mean that I say it's untrue. It's just, it was very dramatic. Not fanciful's the wrong name. Dramatic. The dramatic pages. So this one is, pretty much the legal dry document, but I did want you to see this one real quick. And it's very interesting because you're thinking, okay, if they just wanted to make a Franks motion, why did they use 136 pages? Okay, why did they do all this and put all this detail in? Well, in my opinion, I believe that it was basically the defense's PCA, so to speak. They basically laid out a whole case. Now, I think that they will bring up a lot of other things. I don't think, Sons of Odin is going to be the only thing if and when it goes to trial. I think there's going to be a lot more angles they're going to look at as well. And, but so I think the reason that they did this, okay, think about it. the defense, even though that, motion was like really dramatic, I've said from the beginning, the defense, they're not idiots. There's a gag order. They can't talk about it. Nobody can talk about what they know, right? So what they do is they put all of this information and lay out this case in a legal document that we grabbed a hold of before anybody could seal it, right? So basically, it was a brilliant move. Whether you like it, whether you hate it, whether you think it's rubbish, it was a brilliant move. So let's take a look at some of the reasons that they're going to actually say he should have a Frank's motion. Now, if you look at this, it says, Richard Allen, blah, 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 filed his motion on the 18th day of September. Defendant Allen made general references to the preliminary showing. Okay. I love this. Y'all, this is going to get mad. Look at this last line. However, defendant Allen now realizes that he did not articulate in detail the actual burden of proof associated with said preliminary showing. Like he's doing this. Like Richard Allen is writing this. Okay, I couldn't write this. Most of y'all, unless you're attorneys, you couldn't write it either. And I'm like, Allen now realizes he didn't articulate. Sweetheart, Allen is in jail eating paper. Of course, he didn't articulate any of this. Hopefully, he is past that point. I think he's much better. I'm not trying to make light of this. As a matter of fact, one of these other documents probably will make you steaming mad. But, yeah. Based on what they said, how he appeared in August, now they're saying, oh, September. He didn't articulate it well. But again, this is just the defense doing what the defense does. Okay, so they're basically what this is saying that, they have to have supportive reasons for the Frank's motion. So they, not only refer to the case of Franks versus Delaware, but they also refer to People versus Lucente. And now in this one, I believe, is where someone says, tells the police officer, hey, this guy is, selling illegal substances, blah, blah, blah. As a matter of fact, I went over to his house and, we participated in this. And what happened is the family of the accused writes, all of these affidavits saying, no, he wasn't even there. He was with us. And so a lot of this document, in other words, to prove that this guy, who was supposed to be a reliable source, made this up. Now, in this case, if your family is giving you the alibi, it's sus. Come on. Most of the time, a family is going to defend you, take up for you, blah, blah, blah. Sorry about that. Okay, let's get back to where I was. I do this all the time. All right. So we're going to go on down. And then there is another case. Let's see. People versus Lucente. And then, in this case, they said that, it was a self-serving affidavit. And then let's go back up to the case of People versus Zymantis. Basically, this one was about someone who was being accused of illegal, gambling and stuff like that. And if you look under here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, the officer alleged under oath that he had received information from a reliable informant that, informant placed sports wagers with the defendant through a specific phone number. Well, as it turns out, that phone, if you go on down, when they investigated it, that phone number was not registered to the defendant. If you'll see the top of this, the court found that the affidavit and single supporting document was enough to meet the preliminary showing, and so the defendant was entitled to a hearing. But again, these are cases that they are basing this on. Again, showing that you have to have very good evidence, probable cause, things like that before you arrest somebody. All right. So their answer to this is that if you look here on in the second sentence under number 9, it says Allen offered up dozens of pages of police reports from various law enforcement officers, all of which focus on individuals other than himself that could have committed these crimes. Deposition transcripts from law enforcement officers that contain testimony acknowledging that others may have committed these crimes. And finally, both written and recorded statements of witnesses on or near the trail that day in question who articulated facts entirely inconsistent with those offered up by Sheriff Liggett in his affidavit support the search warrant. Okay, so see, this is where they are saying that, of course, according to, now remember, we've talked about this, all the defense has is what the prosecution gives them. So this isn't, things that they've obtained under, their own power. This is what they found in the discovery. We are going to talk about discovery because that is very disturbing. So, so the point of this, really, in a nutshell, is that the defense goes ahead and they write out a Frank's motion supplemental. Okay, it's the supplemental. Okay, what it is like, this is the actual reason that we believe that he should have a Frank's hearing, because this evidence was untrue and they knew it. So actually, they didn't have to do the 136 pages, you see. But what it did is they slipped that one right under the gag order. So we would all, the public, would have information that, hey, there are some real other suspects in this. Now, if you have watched my channel for any time, you know that I've talked about this. How many times have I said, I don't think the evidence that they have is going to hold. And I have said, unless they have some more evidence. And let me tell you, when we get to another document, I will explain to you why it's not probable, but it's possible. Okay? Remember, we're going to look at balanced. Polygraph, good to see you. All right, so let's look at something else. Let's look at the next thing, the next video file. I don't know. No, we're not doing a video file. We're doing a screen share. Sorry. All right, let's look at this one. Let's see if I can get it right this time. Oh my gosh. This is the same thing we just did. I'm telling you. I don't know if it's my computer, my brain. I don't know what it is. Let's see what in the heck this is. Okay, we're going to talk about, let's go ahead and talk about this. Since this is the one I found, I'll cover it anyway. This is for transfer of custody. Now, remember, they already requested this like months ago, and it was denied. And so here they go again. On November, see, he was talking about him being in Westville. We know all of this. I don't want to rehash stuff that you already know. Of course, it says that his incarceration in the maximum security unit has exposed him to the most isolated conditions an offender can be subjected to while imprisoned. That is true. Again, I've done many videos that say I work in corrections. Sometimes for someone's safety, they have to be placed there. A lot of his conditions are standard. They're horrible. Yeah, they're horrible. That is, again, that would take jail reform, and that's not on the table. That's not what this is about. Are some things standard? Yes, they absolutely are. I've also said, though, if you remember, people who have access to Richard Allen are going to be fellow inmates and corrections officers. Corrections officers bring him in his meals. They take him to the shower. They, give him his chirp every day. They, what I'm saying? Usually you get your chirp in the morning, or at least the way we do it. You get your chirp in the morning and they take it away at night, okay? And they put it on the charger. So, there are many, many interactions with him during the day. If those corrections officers are dirty or they're just horrible people, okay, they can make your life a living hell. They can also be, one of your best allies. They can be the person that helps you. That is what they are supposed to do. They are supposed to watch out for you, take care of you, make sure you are safe. Right? That's the whole point of putting him at Westville. We want him to be there, want him to be safe for trial. And the judge felt like, if he were to go out and, just be free until trial, that there is a chance he would never make it to trial because of the accusations, the high profile, all this stuff. So, now, so he is in, we know the conditions he's in. They're not good. They're not good for anybody in that situation. So, here is what their problem is, though. If you'll go down to about the 4th line on number 5, it says, Allen's defense offers up numerous facts and circumstances which connect members of the Sons of Odin's, Vinlanders, etc., to the unalivings of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. A large majority of the facts and circumstances referenced in the Frank's notice and supporting memorandum were obtained through the normal course of discovery from law enforcement files. It is notable that there have been very few, if any, references by law enforcement authorities to the Odinistic ties throughout this 6-year investigation in this case. Said information was noticeably absent from the probable cause affidavit. Yes, we know that. And so, there we go. Let's go on down to number 6. Allen's defense team became aware of this basically during one of the initial visits. They noticed the presence of unusual patches on the uniforms of 2 prison guards, Sergeant Joshua Robinson and Sergeant Randy Jones. One patch consistently worn by Sergeant Jones reads as follows, "In Odin we trust." Counsel has also observed patches containing 3 interconnected triangles on the chest of Sergeant Jones. Now, if you remember, some of the things that we looked at a couple of videos ago when we were still talking about the Sons of Odin and some of their stuff, you remember, sorry, I always get itchy nose. But you remember that triangles, yeah, we saw a lot of stuff even on Brad Holder's webpage, some other web pages that we looked at, so we know that that is a common symbol. And Sergeant Robinson has worn similar patches with these same references. As mentioned in the Frank's notice and supporting memorandum, these patches with their references and symbols have direct ties to the practice of, Odinism. So, these patches mean that they are practitioners, okay? It's not like, a political button that says vote for somebody. It just shows who you support. Like, you wear these patches if you are a member of the Sons of Odin, or you practice in the worship of Odin, okay? Which does make a difference. Now, at the time, okay, we didn't know anything about the sons, we knew that there was a group. We knew that there was an occult or cultic group called Sons of Odin. We did not know, because it was never released in the PCA, that there was any real tie or potential tie to them, okay? We have looked at everybody from, substance traffickers to, friends, family. We've looked at all these different theories over the last 6 years, but we did not know how much there was to suggest, even from Becky Patty herself, who, according to the memorandum, told law enforcement early in the game that, Logan, Abby's boyfriend, son of Brad Holder, who was, a practitioner of Odinism. So, yeah, that would have made a big difference, okay? Because I don't know very much about, I do now, I've read a lot, but, just like any other group, if I were walking into a prison and I saw, strange patches, I might, because I'm a curious person. What's that you're wearing? But that's just me. A lot of people don't. And so if I didn't know and I saw a strange patch on somebody, you have no idea. Even if they said, "Oh, I'm an Odinist," I would not tie that to Richard Allen's case, because why? It's it's kind of like one of those fringe theories, But now they're wearing it. But now we know from the beginning that law enforcement had this staging. If it was staging, I don't know. We'll talk about that. There's a lot of stuff to that. But there were ties. Whether true or false or accusations, there were heavy ties in the beginning. So that would make a big difference. I mean, it's not like they were just sitting there wearing buttons or something that said "Vote Trump." This was a serious thing. All right, number 8. Through the discovery process, defense counsel has sought out from the DOC video footage from defendant Allen's cell and video of many of the movements of defendant Allen within the facility. To date, the defense has received video from November of 2022, as well as additional footage from April, May, and June of 2023. But that is all they have. And I mean, why? Why? Is it just too difficult to send, video of that? Or are there things in the months that you don't want us to see? You have to ask. Whether it's true or not, you have to ask. They've requested this, as I would if he were my client. Okay. And again, this is all saying that he should transfer. Now, we know a lot of these details. We've talked about before how the officers were very close. We've talked about how him and his wife, whatever, had no privacy, which I kind of do understand that, actually. They couldn't talk privately. Once you go to jail, there's really nothing private, except for your attorney visits. Those should not be, those should not have at least audio. In our jail, we have a camera, but there is no audio. You can see. You just want, well, actually, there's glass in between them anyway, but you can see if something is going on. You can tell if there is a problem, if somebody starts beating on the glass, whatever. But as we know, it was reported that they had video and audio, which is horrendous. How are you supposed to do anything like that? Let's see. Okay, number 10. As stated, Allen's defense team received videos from the Indiana Department of Corrections illustrating interactions between prison guards and Mr. Allen during his incarceration. One such video represents an incident which appears to have occurred on May 18th, 2023 and May 25th, 2023. In the video labeled as blah blah blah, Sergeant Jones can be seen warning defendant Allen that he will be tased if he does not remove his hands from the cuff port in the door of defendant Allen's cell. Okay. I do take issue with that. Defendant Allen did not remove his hands from the cuff port, which resulted in Sergeant Jones deploying his taser to defendant Allen's hands. I'm not sure. I'll just be honest with you. I'm not sure what they're talking about the cuff port. No use of force checkoff sheet was completed, as it appeared from the communications between the officers that Sergeant Jones did not believe the defendant Allen was actually struck with the taser. Okay. Here's the thing. It says he didn't remove his hands like he was told to, and it resulted in Sergeant Jones deploying his taser. Now, here's what I know. Okay, because I work in this environment every single day. If someone has to use a taser because there is no other choice, all right, and usually a taser really is the last resort, because there are other things that you can do, and even pepper spray, which is not pleasant for anybody, including the officers. But where I work, it's highly discouraged to use a taser unless there is no other choice, okay? Have to attend special training to carry a taser. Tasers are no joke. So they do have a paper that's called the use of force. All right, if they have to deploy their taser for some reason, they have to fill out this whole report. All the things they have to check off, they have to know, why, and etc., etc., all right? If y'all know anything about incident reports, there's 1,000 things that they want to know about it. So they didn't do a report because they said, well, the taser wasn't actually used. But I'm going to say, if they've got video, you can tell if someone's being tased, all right? They are probably going to yell. They're not just going to sit there and look at you. They're not just going to, it's going to be very painful. All right? I have watched. I haven't been through taser training because I don't like pain. I want to carry a taser, but I don't know. I might do it someday, but basically, I have watched people in taser training. In taser training, you can't carry one until you have experienced it, okay? You have to know what you are doing to other people. And that's part of the training that is where I work. And so, I'll be honest with you, it's kind of fun to watch your coworkers, that are going through that training. You want to know. It's like, okay, I want to say they're like, I'm doing my taser training, my taser today, and I'm like, oh, I want to say. Yeah, we're coworkers. We're kind of sick that way. But I really did want to know what it's like. And even the biggest, strongest, burliest guys were screaming at that taser, okay? And so, yeah, it is definitely not something that you would not notice, okay? Absolutely gonna know. So there was no, of course, checkoff sheet. So that is a big problem to me. And they're going on to say the issue of whether the taser was used or not is of no consequence. Wait. And I don't even see that. At no time during this altercation was defendant Allen posing any safety risk to any of the officers. Okay, that is, again, in taser training. And you only I don't know how to say this with any more force. You only use a taser if there is, how do they word it? If there is a safety risk to any of the officers, okay? You only do it for safety purposes. Even when our officers break up a fight, even if it's a big fight, they're not usually using the tasers, okay? There are other methods that you can use. And taser is a last resort. So definitely, if someone was being, you don't use tasers as a, at least if you're a moral human being, you don't use tasers as a disciplinary action. It is a safety risk action. I don't know how y'all do it where you're from, but, you know, like I've said a million times, I am so very lucky to work at a place like I do. You know, for jails are jails. And they're rough. They're rough places. But I am extremely glad that I work at a place that I can morally support as well. Okay. So it goes on to say defendant Allen was securely locked in his cell, and the only aspect of non-compliance involved defendant Allen's hand sticking outside, of the small rectangular sleeve in the cell door. Oh, that was it? What? That's what, okay. Okay, I didn't understand the cuff port. Okay, yeah, because I understand now. So that, that you've seen it in prisons. You've seen it sometimes in movies about, mental hospitals where they have the little, like, rectangle cut out and they put your tray in, you put your tray out. Well, in jail, they also do that. But if something is going to be going on, that you need to be cuffed, you stick your hands out. If they're a huge risk, you stick your hands out through that little door and they can handcuff you that way too, okay? To keep everything secure, keep the officers safe. There are some very violent and truthfully unhinged people in facilities, so I get that. But he wouldn't take his hands out of that and they tased him? Are you kidding me? Wow. Wow. All right. I didn't catch that. I ran through this really quick. I really didn't catch that. Okay, so they're talking about transport, and I'm gonna wrap this part up, and it goes on. If you are on my Discord, I've got this. It's in Delphi docs, or just docs link, something like that, and it goes through a lot of things. We're talking about the April 17th video. It says, let's see here. Sergeant Jones can be seen in the same video. This is when they're walking him on a leash. At approximately 2 minutes and 17 seconds into the video, the unknown officer with the leash reaches up to his right chest area and removes a patch from his uniform, placing the patch in his pocket. It appears from the video that someone, most likely the individual holding the video camera, prompted the unknown officer's actions. Okay? They can't confirm that it was an Odin patch, but, what'd you have on you that, somebody had to say, hey, take that off? All right, so these are the reasons we're going to go on. There's a lot to this, remember? But this is why they are once again asking for him. And by the way, I've got a whole document on this too about how the Supreme Court upholds the rights of prisoners to participate in pagan and white supremacist activities. All right, and this is in prison. So, I mean, I get it. Prison is a completely different world, all right? But, yeah, so I can see where they're not going to make people just pull off patches and, do stuff if that is an expression of their religion, according to, definitely for the inmates, according to the Supreme Court. So, if this is true, let's just keep going. All right. Bottom line is, if this is true, then what we're talking about is you have the Odin connection. If these guards are really, supporters of Odinism and they're wearing the patches, they know, does this, make it an unsafe environment for Richard Allen? I'm going to say yes. Although, in my opinion, unless they knew this was going to come out, this information, they would have done their treat him well and try to keep the Odinist out of it, because you're just making yourself look worse. Like, it's not already that the court of public opinion says, okay, these are dangerous, these are horrible people, right? That's what they're already thinking because of the memorandum, and now all the actions have just gone to prove, if this is true, that yeah, y'all really kind of suck as humans. That's what I'm thinking. What? I've got to do, look, Jeremiah M's. Hello, I have not heard from you before that I can remember. Yeah, I don't know what case you're talking about. I'm going to have to go back and read this. Satanists and Odinists sued after Clinton passed an unconstitutional law and they won at the Supreme Court. Huh. All right, so let's look. As I have to leave in about 15-20 minutes. Let's see if this is the right one. Maybe this is it. Let me see. We're going to talk about the, let's see if this is it. No. The one I couldn't, the one that I could not, everyone that I opened before was the one document I'm looking for now, and now it's not showing up in any of my tabs. I don't know if this is just a, okay, here we go, Discovery. The StreamYard thing or what? Alright, this was maddening to me, as I'm sure it is the defense. And let me just say, the only reason I'm covering this document is because, well, for two reasons. One, it talks about, some evidence or lack thereof. And to me, it shows, it just does not put the prosecution in a good light. All right? I understand. You, as the prosecution, you are trying to hide what you can from the defense. It's not right. Is it done? Yeah, sure it is. But let's look at this, because this really did tick me off. Again, I'm not taking sides. I'm like, just let's get it fair, okay? Let's have all the evidence out there. Everything. Good, bad, ugly, for Richard Allen, against Richard Allen, whatever. Let's put it all out there. I mean, I know that supposedly will happen in trial, but get a load of this. Okay. Now, this is, basically, what Rozzy and Baldwin are doing is they're saying, look, it's like pulling teeth to get, discovery from the prosecution. Like, these people are just not cooperating. And this is important to know, because why? All right, so, they're like, excuse me, the jury trial in this cause is set to commence on January 8th. Okay, now it's already October. What is today? The 3rd? That doesn't give you very long. I mean, we got the holidays. They've got other cases, and you've got all this stuff. It's supposed to go to trial January 8th, and you still don't have all the evidence? I can see where that's a problem. I don't see this not getting continued. I really don't see it happening in January, but, you know, we'll see. All right, these are the dates. Okay, let's go to number 3. Throughout this proceeding, the defense has received discovery in the form of external hard drives, thumb drives, disks, and written documentation. The defense has picked up said discovery usually within a day, but no more than 2 weeks of the discovery being made available. And they give the dates that they got the first round of depositions. That was in December of 2022, February and April of 2023. Some more in May and June of 2023. Still, that seems pretty late to me in the game, but whatever. So you can see all of these. They totaled 14 hard drives, 5 flash drives, and 3 disks. Okay, the state of Indiana has indicated to defense that the more recent discovery it has provided may contain some discovery that the defense has already received. All right, well, we're going to send you what you already got. What about that? Thanks. Okay, they're saying they've had very little time to look through all of that. Yeah, sure. 14 hard drives, 5 flash drives, 3 disks, all this, you know, dang. The defense conducted the first round of depositions in this matter in early August 2023. The defense anticipates conducting at least 30 to 40 additional depositions. 30 to 40 additional depositions? I mean, think about it. When we go through one deposition, or, you know, think about, like, we scrutinize this, right? All of us people on YouTube and y'all out there who are, you know, just working as hard at it as we are, and you're scouring this and you're taking line by line, and you're really questioning, you're really looking for stuff in those depositions or interviews or whatever. Can you imagine at this late in the game, on top of all this other stuff, they've got 30 to 40 depositions that they anticipate? Good Lord. Let's see. Then let's go down here. It gives some more dates in September that they got some stuff. Number 9, it was during this initial round of depositions that the state of Indiana and Unified Command learned that the defense was aware of law enforcement's lack of investigation and focus on certain suspects related to Odinism as detailed in the defense's recent Frank filing. So basically, you know, they're like, oh, crap, they're onto us. They're like, ew. They found out. Craziness. All right. And I did want to show you this. Okay, they're talking about, remember, all this was in the memorandum. They talked about Elvis Fields, Johnny Messer, Rod Abrams. Let's see. Then we're talking about investigator Todd Click. Again, all this in the memorandum. They're saying they barely had a chance to go through this. I agree. Number 13, in addition to the vast amounts of newly discovered evidence that has been in the hands of law enforcement and the prosecutor's office for over 10 months since the defense entered their appearances, the defense has also received certain new evidence that was only recently produced, including a new audio file by Brad Holder. It's an interview in 2023, August of 2023. A new audio file. All these are in August of 2023. You've got a new one from Brad, Patrick Westfall, Nick Westfall, Jeffrey Turco. Which, hey, by the way, check this out. New audio file. I thought this was interesting. In which Jeffrey Turco was interviewed in September of 2023. This is believed to be the Mr. Purdue professor described in the Frank's memorandum. The state of Indiana was apparently aware of his existence since September 9th, 2023, but did not inform the defense of his existence until the defense found his name in a September 27th evidence dump. So when, you know, the defense was saying, okay, who was the professor that y'all interviewed at Purdue? Or wherever it was. Remember in the memorandum, they're saying law enforcement said, "Oh yeah, we talked to a professor. It might have been Purdue. I really don't know. What was what was his name? Don't remember. We talked about this. The elusive mystery professor is apparently Jeffrey Turco, but they were not going to tell the defense until it's like, let's do all this evidence dump. Okay, one of the reasons that the prosecution doesn't like give you things a little bit here, a little bit here, because that gives you time, right? It gives you time to look at it. Oh, I got a new email today. I got a new, whatever. I'm going to look at that one. No, let's give them 100 at a time and all this stuff because they're just sitting there overwhelmed. Like, oh my gosh, where do I even start? You see, it's a tactic. I get it. I get it. It's, I can't say that it's, it's not fair, but it is definitely a tactic, that the prosecution uses, and hey, that's their job. I'm not dissing them for that. That is their job. But understand that the defense is like, okay, well, we just happened to find the professor's name. Well, glory, hallelujah. Now we know who he is. All right. Between the vast amounts of old discovery that has been in the hands of law enforcement for over 10 months, including exculpatory evidence that supports the defense theory of Richard's innocence. Wow. Okay, so they had exculpatory. If you should, I mean, I'm sure you probably know that means like exculpatory means like it shows that someone did not do the crime. Okay, that excludes. Exculpatory is excludes someone. All right. I love this. You gotta love the defense. The defense is concerned that there will be a continual drip, drip, drip of evidence, much of which could be exculpatory in nature unless a discovery dead set court. Of course it will. Of course it will be. They're gonna wait last minute. If they could wait till January 1st of 2024 to give you a big pile of evidence to get through in a week, they'd do it. So this is what the defense is saying. Hey, look, we came on board about December of 2022, and now it's September. We're getting all this stuff you've already had. It's new evidence. Okay, it's not new. You've had it, but now you've had it for almost a year. Why did we have to wait this long? Well, again, back to tactics. And this is why, y'all, a lot of times people don't have a speedy trial. They don't go to court because the lawyers are, playing chess with each other. Defense and prosecution. Thank you. Helps out people in jail, doesn't it? All right, let's see. Let's go down because I'm gonna have to get off here in just a minute. All right, so I did like some of this though. Some of the exculpatory evidence is, again, they did. Listen, look at this. Number 20, A. Brad Holder had an audio video taped interview February 17th of 2017, and it says who did that. Wow. So, that was something I didn't know he was ever really, we didn't know nothing. They didn't tell us squat, which I get, but, additionally, Holder discusses a second interview this is in August, this last one, he discusses a second interview with law enforcement that took place years ago. Okay, the defense doesn't have that. The defense requests all reports and recordings of that interview. So all they have is the one, like he did one in 2017, he did one in August of 2023, but he refers to a second one somewhere in between that time. Huh, where's that one? Did y'all write it down? Did you record it? Because I don't know. At this point, I don't know what you did. Let's see. They also, again, it goes through all of this. Look at E. Police reports related to Mary Jacobs reporting her brother's confession in person in Carroll County sometime in February or March 2017. Really? Really? Since 2017? No wonder Robert Ives thought, oh, this is going to be solved quick. I'm just saying. All right. They're saying there's likely more discovery. Yes, I'm sure there is. And they're saying they are asking for, let me make sure. There was so many good things in here, like little tidbits. They want to be prepared for trial, of course. We want him to be prepared for trial too, or else it's just going to be, in an appeal court, and it's still going to be ongoing, and we're still going to be sitting here talking about this. And we don't want that. We want justice served for the right person. This investigation has been going on for more than 6 years. There is no reason why the defense should be receiving discovery that has been in the hands of law enforcement and which continues to be quite luminous at late stage proceedings. The need for a discovery deadline exists. Yes, it does. Okay? Yes, it does. So they are asking, the judge to put a deadline on it for November 1st of this year, which to me is quite generous because y'all have had a year. I mean, you arrested him, a year ago this month? The defense came in on December. Yeah. There needs to be a deadline, or else it will be January 1st when the defense is still getting voluminous information. All right? Now, going back to what I've said before, I have said numerous times, keep it balanced, open mind, remember? And I've said over and over, oh my God, what did I just do? I've said over and over that I don't think the prosecution has enough evidence to convict Richard Allen beyond a reasonable doubt. Not saying he did or didn't, but based on the evidence I've seen, to which people, and I've said, unless there is more evidence that we don't know about. Okay. And this is the reason that I said that. I have reasons, okay? Let me just tell you, I'm not an idiot, okay? And, the reason I said that is because the defense does not have all of the discovery, okay? Now, if you take everything, and there is some evidence in there that wasn't in the PCA. Again, PCA is just supposed to get the bare bones of what they need to get somebody, get a search warrant, make an arrest. This is the reason. The prosecution has not handed over, as far as we know, everything that they have. And this is the complaint of the defense. Where is some more evidence? Because I am sure that this is a tactic. And again, it's a smart one. Not throwing shade on the prosecution. It is a good tactic. But there does have to come a point where you just say, look, stop with the BS. We need all of this discovery, and we need it by a certain date. And I personally don't think that November 1st is gonna be good enough. Okay, I just don't. But that would be me. you know, the defense has a whole team, so, you know, maybe they can get through it. Maybe they feel that they can. But that is my opinion on this, and this is why I said that, because, again, we never take one, I don't care who you believe is innocent or guilty, you don't take one thought and stay with it without really considering every single angle. So, that is what we do here at Silky Southern Tea. We think. How many times have I said that? We think. All right. Are the discovery laws this good, Linda Kay? And I'm gonna have to end just a. Are the discovery laws different each state? You know what? I am not sure. Because to be honest with you, I don't know. I do not know. I would think, you know, every state is sovereign, so I would think so. Laws are different from state to state, even though there are certain things that, you know, interconnect. You know, if you commit a crime in one state, it's still a crime somewhere else. But, unless apparently it's prostitution, because you can do that. But you know what I'm saying. They do have to, you know, there are interstate rules. But as far as little things like that, I would think, I am no expert on the law in those kind of cases, but I would assume that they are or could be possibly different in each state. All right. Yes, I think they do the judges need to be stricter about making discovery happen. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, I am so glad that y'all came, and that y'all have hung out with me through this. I tried to go through it quickly, and I don't mean to, you know, keep you. It is in the middle of the day, but just I wanted to cover these other documents that really, they're very important. They just haven't been talked about a lot because they're drowning in all of the drama. And I don't want to see that, because there are some very, very valid points for both the prosecution and the defense, and we need to take that into consideration. All right, if you want some spicy tea, remember, don't come at me. It's you talking. I don't care. Come at me. I really don't care. But yeah, we're going to be doing some spicy tea sometime this evening. And, you know, I hope I can get CJ on with me, but we'll just see. We'll see. Anyway, I thank you so much for being here. And I'll leave the comments up. I'll leave it open for just a minute so you can finish up your conversations. I'm going to go back and read it, because y'all are so smart. Y'all, I learned so much from you. I could definitely not do this without y'all. And I will see you later today. In the meantime, whatever you do, stay safe. And what? Stay silky.